Do I have to? Do I? Do I really got? I could. It's Saturday, man. I could just not, right? And just say we did. Do I really have to do this to myself? You guys better reward me for what I'm about to suffer through by making sure that we hit 5,000 subscribers. We are like 10 off at the time of recording. If you guys don't give me back something for the pain I'm about to endure, I'm gonna hold it against you. Because, yeah, not in a good mood. Falcons beat Faze in the dumbest way possible. There is nothing holy and or sacred. There is only darkness ahead. Life is meaningless. God is dead. We killed him. And then we followed it up with G2 seeming to breeze past Complexity, ending their really, really great underdog run here. And you know, it is what it is. Modesty played fantastic. The Complexity magic ran out. I'm not going to hold that against them. So we have the dead roster finals tomorrow, which is hilarious on its own right. Just sucks that it came at the expense of all my joy. So let's break it down. Get ready for tomorrow. Broky, retire. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. 10,000 end of the year. Meh. Sponsor. That's right, this video is sponsored by Skin Club. They're one of the most popular case opening sites in the scene with over 100 custom cases backed by their provably fair system. You can open cases individually or wager your winnings against other users in case battles, either with players around the world or privately with bots if you want to avoid being smurfed outside of Premiere as well. But wait, there's more. Skin Club runs monthly events with free rewards to earn, free daily cases, and if you don't like what you earned, you can always go for a cheeky little upgrade to get something you do. If you want to play on Skin Club, you can do so at the top link in the description down below and get a 7% deposit bonus when you top off your account with credit card, crypto, or the 5,000 Peach 50 sand dunes in your inventory. Please gamble responsibly and only do so if you are over 18 and live in a country or jurisdiction that doesn't restrict gambling. Gambling can be an addiction, and you should never gamble for the purposes of making profit, only wager what you are comfortable losing. If you or a loved one are suffering from gambling addiction in the US or Canada, you can reach out to 1-800-GAMBLER toll-free to get help. I want you to be safe and healthy always, so seek help if you need it. And thank you to Skin Club for sponsoring this video. Now, things were not off to a great start in Falcons versus Faze when Faze got blown the fuck out on Nuke 13-4. Not really a great pace setter. This is such a difficult game to talk about because I think Faze failed at a lot of the fundamentals throughout this series. Like, firstly, they got absolutely dominated on first kills, openers, for this series. For all 3 games, Falcons had 41 opening kills to Faze's 29. Just getting gapped that hard in openers is already severely detrimental to your round outlooks, having to play from 4v5 in so many situations. It's so frustrating, even my dog is annoyed. Faze failed to win consecutive rounds at any point in this map. They won the pistol round. They failed to convert the second round force buy, which is painful to say the least. They then were unable to really establish their economy, only winning disparate gun rounds from there on. And I guess the first place I want to start here is that something needs to change with the roles in Faze, specifically on Nuke. Because as much as I will always give deference to the fact that LionHeartZ is the star player, and if his roles conflict with players like Rain should have to be the one to step back. That comes from 2 reasons. 1, I believe in Rain's ability as an adaptable, consistent player for so many years to be able to switch up his roles. And then 2, he's just not as good as LionHeartZ is. So you want to set up your star player in the best ways possible. That's just common sense. However, I think there is one clear exception to this rule, and that is Nuke. Because despite Rain's issues himself, he is, next to Nico, one of the greatest outside riflers to ever play this game. At least in CSGO's version of Nuke and onward, Rain is one of the best Nuke riflers we have ever seen. And where does he play? Outside. Mini. Yard. You know where LionHeartZ plays? Outside. Mini. Yard. LionHeartZ? Just go play something else. Go play literally any other spot on the map. I don't care. You don't get to play Yard in this team. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're LionHeartZ. He is Rain. Alright? That's like saying, okay, you have Nico and Donk on the same team. They play the same position. Are you going to put fucking Donk and Mini over Nico? Fuck no. I'll go even one step further. The numbers back me up on this. Because let's keep in mind that last year in Big 2024, LionHeartZ, in my opinion, was a top 5 rifler in the world. He finished in the top 20 in HLTV. He had over 1.2 rating on LAN. Alright? On your screen, Skybox Edge. Here are the stats. On Nuke, all of last year, LionHeartZ versus Rain. Rain's a better player. And considering that Rain is a much worse player overall for the year, that difference becomes markedly more important, because LionHeartZ massively plays under his expected level, whereas Rain plays above it. So even though we're talking about a difference between a 1.01 rating and a 0.95 rating in this sample size, LionHeartz's drop from being a 1.22 player last year to 0.95 is drastic. And going back to the game, right, LionHeartz obviously didn't play bad. He was the best player on Faze, but he also had all of his spots. You have moved Frozen around, you have moved Rain around, and most of all, you moved Broky around too. Because Broky and Rain had a great two-man system where Broky was playing kind of this rotated position, outside, heaven, ramp, wherever he needed to be. But now he's playing a lot more obligate ramp. It puts Frozen in a bunch of weird spots too. It's just ugly. I don't want to see LionHeartz displace Rain. And yeah, you can have a broader argument about whether Rain should just retire at this point. That's not within the scope of this video. But with this roster, as it has to exist, at least through the major, give Rain his spots back. What the fuck are we doing? And it's certainly a testament to, I think, Faze being able to keep themselves in this game. They just get battered to start off on Ancient as well. They get hit by an 8-1 run from Falcons where just nothing's working. And not even just like, oh, you're kind of getting close in these rounds and not being able to pull it off. Several of the buy rounds, you just die to picks. You just lose your gunfights. Like, you just get hit. Which is like the most frustrating thing for me at trying to like analyze this game for you guys. Because what do I say other than, yeah, you lost. Like, the peaks weren't necessarily bad. It's just the shots weren't landing. Like, you were just getting thoroughly gapped on firepower. And the only thing that I think kept this game from being an extreme blowout was just being able to string those last couple of rounds at the end of the half. And, you know, the highlight of that for sure is Frozen getting that 4K spray down on the fast A push. Like, gives you a little bit of positive momentum. But then the pistol on the second half is just a heartbreaker. Just a complete heartbreaker. Because LionHeartz gives you a great opening in mid with a double kill. LionHeartz almost gets an ace at the end of this round. You're in a 5v3. This should never be a possible loss. But instead, you guys go for this like slow B action after getting the early picks, and you just walk right into the crunch. The dual Berettas from Dexter, they just tear Faze apart. And again, only by LionHeartz and just some careful rotating keeps them in this round. But as the bomb goes down, LionHeartz misses the final shot for the ace. Tessus gets the 1v2 conversion. It's just so hard to deal with that. Now, of course, because Counter-Strike works in mysterious ways, Faze are given a gift on the following 4-spy round, where after some early trades in front of Cave from Kerrigan and LionHeartz, Nico is trying to push through caves and try to flank around towards B ramp for intel. Broky's tucked up on the boxes, and he gets a nice double spray with the Glial. But just like the way the game was trending, right? I just had a sick feeling in my heart that this 3v3 wouldn't have gone Faze's way if they clear that corner and take care of Broky. It just kind of feels like that's where the momentum was going. Which I feel pretty validated on, because in the next round, it's just clownery. Like, Faze played so scared into a bye they should never be losing to. Falcons have an MP9, an M4, and nothing else. But after some just bad trades in Cave, Faze just waste all their remaining time, have to go into the sloppy late donut play into A, and yeah, Frozen gets into the bomb site, gets a nice double, but then Dexter drops out of the tunnel while Frozen's planting, gets a double pick of his own, and Frozen pulls off the plant, thinking with no time left he has no choice. There's just no world where Faze should be losing this round. And the only reason I think the Faze are able to win this game in the end is that Falcons started making more mistakes. Falcons started running it down in so many subsequent rounds, trying to get a like hope double kill and try and break Faze's backs that way instead of playing like steady Counter-Strike and letting Faze kind of die on their own spear, something they've been doing the entire series up to this point. And yeah, Faze played good in this game. I'm not going to take that away. But it really feels like this was more Falcons blowing the lead than Faze really showing like kind of the form they showed yesterday, where they looked really confident in what they were doing. There was still some bizarre decision making, and no more so than when Faze were one round away from tying things up 11-11, because I hate the entire action of this round. Like, this flash that Frozen's gonna throw here in mid was so bad, I didn't even see or hear it on the main stream. I thought there was no flash. I tweeted about it like they just dry peeked mid. But they might as well have, because this flash from Frozen's terrible. It doesn't flash out Dexter and Cubby. It doesn't flash out a player who could be close like Nico was. And instead, LionHeartZ just swings into instant death. And LionHeartZ is swinging on the proviso that this flash is there. So Whatever this strat was cooked up in the beginning just needs work, and it's so frustrating that Faze just essentially give up the beginning of this round, and it puts them on the back foot. Like, it's just not a recoverable situation more often than not in a 4v5 like this. And it's only because Falcons continue to play badly into Faze's actions that this goes to overtime. And Faze do play better in the overtime. That's an absolutely fair thing to say. But I really think Falcons should have cleaned this up in 2 games. I don't think this should have went to Mirage. And, oh boy, let's talk about it. We're going to strip away all analysis of this game broadly, and we're going to focus in on one thing. And that's the fact that Broky is, I'm going to be very, very charitable about this and not just, like, be incendiary for the sake of being incendiary. Broky lost this game for them. I don't think you can have any other read on it, because Broky's performance on Mirage 100% cost Faze a finals appearance. Every other player contributed in moments where Broky failed to do just about anything, going 6 and 17 as the primary opper. And this is going to be the hardest nitpick I ever do in the history of this channel. Okay, I went and watched every single round that Broky had an op in his hands. And Broky had 1 op kill for the entire game. One op kill. He missed or did not fire every other time he had the op in his hands. There were several rounds where he shot at most 1 shot, a miss, and didn't do anything else. This was not even like playing safe and anchoring sights. This was negative proactivity. This was Broky doing nothing. This was Broky being less than useful with the most expensive gun in the game. Like, you can't do that, all right? Already, it was a meme to call support op a real role to begin with. But he's not throwing flashes. He's not facilitating his teammates. He's not doing support roles. He's just sitting and scoping. And if he is taking a shot, he's missing. Go watch any other op player in the world, and I do mean in the world, any other player, and they are moving more than Broky is moving in this game. Definitely top 10 oppers. It's ridiculous, dude. Alige gets hit down to 1 HP in a round, more or less. I think it was like 20. He takes the op from Broky's hands. Broky gets the rifle and dies with it. Alige takes 3 op shots. He hits 1 through the wall, gets a kill with the other. Alige, no joke, had a better effective accuracy with the op than Broky did in the map in 1 round. By the way, just to throw this out there, Dexter, you know, the player they're cutting from Falcons, had 13 op kills, 25 kills total, led the team, carried his team to a finals just now. A man who is dead in the water, gonna have no team after this event. 13 times the op output of Broky in this final map. Inexcusable. And then the death that just pissed me off the most, I went straight to Twitter afterwards, and I had to tweet that Broky should never play another game in Faze if there wasn't a roster lock on Austin because of this. Broky just stands in the molly and dies at jungle. Like, he stood in the molly, waited in the molly, got flashed, and then continued to move through the Molotov. Died to the molly from 100 HP to 0. I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I have no other commentary to offer, because if Broky just gets even like 3 more kills, Faze probably win, and he couldn't do it. 1 op kill. 1 op kill. All right, now that we've spent the last 10, 11 minutes in therapy, we're gonna keep things pretty brief here with the last series, because I don't really have any like rounds to break down. I don't really have any in-depth analysis. G2 versus Complexity was a very straightforward game, and the best way to summarize this is that m0NESY refuses to back down, and I respect the hell out of that, because if there was ever a tournament for m0NESY to check out of, it was this, because we all know he's moving to another team. This G2 roster won't exist after this. But still, m0NESY is a winner. He is always going to compete to win. And despite all of my criticisms of G2 over the however many months of torture, one thing I have said over and over and over again: you have m0NESY, you can win any game with m0NESY. And with Hunter and Malbs backing up on Anubis, and then Heavy God and honestly Snacks backing up on Dust 2, Complexity did not have the firepower to compete here. Now that also comes with the caveat that Grim, for the most part, came back to earth. Grim went from being, you know, like the 3rd or 4th best player in this tournament to going 21 and 35 over both maps. That is just not a gap you're going to be able to make up, and honestly, that's fine. I think Complexity proved a lot in this tournament. I think they turned a lot of heads, and they've shown that this roster isn't just a get me by. They're going to be able to win series going forward, and I think they've shown form that can be replicated. Sorry for the spoon clink there. I'm eating my dinner while I'm finishing this take. And again, Complexity I think had a decent shot on Dust too, much more than I thought they would. That 7-5 half was really close. There was just no denying Munacy on that T side. He refused to be stopped. And yeah, G2 are through. We get G2 versus Falcons, teams that are about to swap oppers in the finals tomorrow, which is going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch Nico play Munacy in a best of 5. I can't deny that. Despite all my pain and all the therapy that is caused from watching Faze today, tomorrow will be fun. We'll talk about the third place decider as well. Time for some predictions, right? I feel like, again, it's just too good of a G2 storyline and very emblematic of this roster and this organization for this not to be their win. It'd be like the last sour note that, hey, G2, you could have had Munacy for 4 or 5 more years, but you fucked up. So I think G2 will win, and I think it's going to be a messy series. I'm going to say it's going to be G2 in 5 games. But, you know, maybe we get a Dexter Nico masterclass and Falcons raise their first Tier 1 trophy. Yay. As for third place decider, God, I don't know. I'm probably not even going to watch it out of spite. But I'm sure that as the ultimate fuck you, Broky will drop 45 kills tomorrow and they'll win. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, 10k subs eventually, 5k subs right now, or I'll hunt you down. Thank you to Skin Club for sponsoring this video. You get 7% deposit bonus next time you fill up using the link in the description down below. Thank you to Skin Club. Please gamble safely and responsibly. Thank you to my channel members, Justin, Jesse, Furley, Milan Berta, Bubblesj, Dr. Cocktor, Patatas Kaftesi, PTR, B1 Games, Cody Foxworthy, Justin Vandervate, I'm Flashbang, Snowy White, Vergil'sPlasticChair, Rowdy, Sid Pro 12. If you want to become a channel member, you can do so at the link in the description down below for $5 a month. You can support me directly, get your name at the end of the video just like this, as well as a custom role in our community Discord. Follow me on Twitch.tv/LionHeartZ CS2.